with responsibilities to feed, to guide. Not feed as in food, physical food only. The first food a pastor feeds a congregation is the word. Because this world was created by the word and is maintained by the word. So a pastor's job, first of all, is you need to know this so you receive full benefits from the pastor that God has put in your life, either as a member of this church or you're a member of another church and you are visiting today to stand with our sister as they dedicate their child. It's absolutely important that whatever church you belong to, you begin to perceive your pastor in the right light, because that pastor was not self-appointed. There may be some self-appointed ones, but the ones that are appointed by God are for your good. A pastor is there to feed, put it back, feed, to guide. Watch this, guide. You need a guide in your life. To lead you, to teach you, to direct you, to guard, protect, care for, and to invest in the flock under his care. That's what pastors are there for. Come on, somebody say, I hear you, sir. Say, I hear you, sir. They are there to what? Protect. They are there to guard. They are there to guide. That's what they are there to do. Let's look at some of the characteristics of a good pastor. Good shepherds give their life for their sheep. Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep too. Good shepherds know their sheep, and their sheep are known by them. Good shepherds know their sheep. They study them, they live with them, they know. When somebody comes to church and you know they are often very outgoing, and then one day they come and they are not outgoing, a shepherd must be able to tell there's something wrong and do something to correct it. That's why God puts pastors into people's lives. Good shepherds know their sheep and they are known of them. Next point, good shepherds ensure the sheep are not scattered and they go looking for them. When the sheep scatter, good shepherds look for them and bring them back into the fold. Say amen. Next point, good shepherds hear the shepherd's voice. Good sheep hear the shepherd's voice and follow him. Say, I hear, sir. Good sheep hear the shepherd's voice and do what? He said, my sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me. So you must know your shepherd's voice. How many of you know you cannot know your shepherd's voice if you don't hear your shepherd? He said that mothers in the room, when you take your child somewhere, they could be in the midst of thousands of children. If your child cries or screams, you can tell that is your child. Why? Come out of your umbilical cord, your stomach, everything. You raise the child. You know your child's voice. Every sheep must know their shepherd's voice. And the only way you know your shepherd's voice is by spending time listening to your shepherd. May you hear your shepherd. Amen. May you hear your shepherd. Amen. May you hear your shepherd. Amen. One of our sisters here went into a coma. And in a dream, she saw the angel of death came. And the angel of death said, I'm taking you. And then she said, in the dream, she saw her pastor, which was me, in the dream, saying to the angel of death, not this one. What did he say? Not this one. Then the angel of death left. Today she's here with 2 children. When you have a pastor, you are covered. If you don't clap your hands. There are certain, because a shepherd is a protector and a covering, there are certain dangers you avoid when you have a shepherd. You see, this world is a wicked world, and there are all kinds of forces against your life. If there's anybody in this room who thinks that they don't have enemies, you are deceived. Whether you know it or not, you have enemies. Some you know, some you don't know. Invisible and invisible. There are people who wish you evil and wish your downfall. Anytime they see you, they are plotting evil against you, whether you know it or you don't know it. You have enemies, whether you know it or not. And one of the ways you get protected from those people is when you go to your appointed place under your appointed covering. And you are taught the word and taught how to pray and how to live a successful Christian life. Being a Christian is not boring and it's not colonial. It's not something to do with your colonial masters. Got nothing to do with it. It's with destiny. It's about destiny. It's about what? Destiny. Destiny. That's what it is. Good shepherds preach to their members. The good sheep hear their shepherd and they follow him. Next point, good shepherds feed both the lamb and the sheep. In other words, they feed the newer ones and then they feed the grown-up ones as well. So there's a balance of feeding in the place. So let's go ahead with what role does your pastor play in your life? I am a pastor, a senior pastor, and I also have mentors and I have a spiritual father. I have a father, a spiritual father I look up to. And I have 3 spiritual mentors I look up to. I am a pastor, but I also have a father. Because you can't father well if you don't have a father. There must be somebody in your life that you look up to who can correct you, whom you give account to, who guides you, who directs you. Amen. This week I got a call from one of my mentors and said, I heard that you are with this man and that, and this and that. I'm telling you, stay away from this person. I said, yes, sir. I'm a whole bishop. My mentor calls me and said, it was hard for me to go, because this is the first time I've ever called you to tell you this. But stay away from this person. I said, yes, sir. Now, that's my mentor telling me stay away from certain person. And that person is a pastor. So I've been preaching here for the past few weeks on decision making that there are some people you must divorce. There are some people who must never be in your life. It only takes a pastor to tell you those things. You see, when people break your heart, they break your body alongside it. So there are some people you should never associate with. They are not good for your life, not good for your destiny. The fact that you are a Christian doesn't mean don't say no. You must learn to say no to some things that are not good for your destiny. And these things, you can only hear it under an appointed pastor. Your parents may tell you have a boyfriend and have a girlfriend. When you are in school, your pastor tells you no boys, get in the books. Your pastor tells you don't follow the girls, follow your grades. You don't need a boyfriend when you are studying in school. Too much emotional baggage. Kevin didn't call me today. Cynthia has left me behind. Focus on the books. You are thinking of Cynthia, and Cynthia is thinking of herself. If you don't say amen, I will do something to you now. A pastor tells you to apply delayed gratification. It's not everything you see you buy. This Christmas, some of you will be buying new clothes. You don't need it. There are some clothes already in your cupboard you have not worn. Don't buy any more clothes. Only your pastor can tell you. Your mother may not want to tell you. Who is looking at your clothes? People have got issues. They ain't seeing your clothes. Who knows whether you worn that shoe 4 times in a month? Who knows? Who is looking at your feet? When people see you, they look at your head. Hello, am I talking? If you don't say amen, I will do something to you. What am I talking about? I'm talking about prioritizing. Am I saying don't buy a new shoe? No. Today I want myself a new shoe, man. You know, I told you I've been wearing that shoe for... I wore it out in Nigeria. Nigeria knew this shoe. It came from missions. What I'm saying is priority. There are some things you can delay. You don't have to have it now. Listen to this. When you see, when you accept and relate to your pastor and your shepherd, given to you by God, chosen and appointed and set there by God in your church and in your life by the chief shepherd, the following things happen to you. I mentioned it. You shall not want. You will lie down in green pastures. He restores your soul. He leads you in paths of righteousness. You walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You fear no evil because he is with you. He prepares a table before you in the presence of your what? Your enemies. Your enemies. They are right there and yet you are succeeding. They are watching to see you fall, and yet you are still what? Breaking through. That shall be somebody's story here. That shall be somebody's story here. So let's look at 10 additional things you need to know about your pastor. Because you see, if you don't know the purpose of it, we see where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. If you don't know the purpose of a woman, you box her and use her as a punching bag. Women are helpmeets, helpers for the men. If you don't see her as a helper, you treat her another way so she doesn't help you. If you don't see your husband as the head, there are certain things you never get from the head. If you see a TV as a fridge,